It's time for Real Talk with Brian and Dan, the weekly talk radio show dedicated to discussing important real estate topics, plus insight into the local community. With a combined experience of over 50 years as local real estate brokers from the East Side Real Estate Team at Keller Williams Realty Bellevue. Here's your hosts, Brian Levitt and Dan Edwards.
Well, welcome to Real Talk with Brian and Dan on 1150 KKNW. It is a beautiful Wednesday in August. Am I right, Brian, or am I right?
Yes, it is. It's gorgeous.
Oh, my goodness. It's fantastic. And I got to tell you, that song has been playing in my head since having my cup of coffee on the back deck, just relaxing, watching the dogs wrestle around. And I'm just like, hey, Eric, can you throw on this song? I love this song. So anyways, those of you listening on the podcast probably don't know what we're talking about because we have to take it out for rights purposes. But anyways, we just had YouTube's It's a Beautiful Day playing in the background. Thanks for listening. We're going to have a great show today. Today, we're excited to talk to two fantastic guests, Tracy Lynch with Simply Stage Design and Kelly Richardson from Raleigh Properties. But of course, before we get to our guests, it's always time for some real talk.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Last week, we answered some questions about down payments. Today, we're going to give you some insight into the housing market. Around this time of the month, we like to review last month's numbers in order to give listeners a bit of clarity on the market. So, Dan, what's happening?
Well, one thing to note is inventory is increasing. We're in what they call the dog days of summer, which is really my favorite month. August is my birthday month. It's usually sunny in Seattle, so inventory, of course, is creeping up there because there are less buyers out there. In July, total active listings in King County rose 11%. On the east side, inventory increased 12% year over year from July. It's not a huge increase, Brian. If you looked at the previous 2 years, we were at like 38 and 28%. So this is kind of back to what is normal.
Normal market, balanced market.
Yeah. And the good news is that means more choice for buyers.
That is good.
I love it.
So, in fact, the median home sales price in King County is showing the effects of the ability of buyers to choose. It dropped down 0.64% over the last year to $625,000. However, the median price on the east side saw an increase of 2.2% up to $849,950. More specifically, Kirkland saw an increase of 20% in home prices.
That's interesting.
Yeah, 20% Kirkland. Go Kirkland.
Yeah.
Bellevue, Redmond, and Seattle all had home prices decrease.
So it's one thing that Brian, I was at a national conference for Keller Williams last week, and
Gary was talking about that.
Yeah, Gary made it a point. Gary Keller made it a point of the one area that showed a decrease was Seattle. And the funny thing is you've been in the Seattle market for many, 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 many years. We tend to lag behind the nationwide numbers.
Right.
That's an outlier, right?
Yeah, it is. I think really it's an issue of the amazingly strong market that we've had.
Right.
I call it as market exuberance.
Yeah.
That really prices aren't coming down. They're getting a little more realistic.
Yeah, I had a conversation with somebody who they were sharing with me how they decided they didn't hire me, but they had hired somebody else, and they decided how to set their price. And they said, well, the house across the street sold for this, so we listed it at that. And the price the price number was like, I think around $800,000 was what the neighbors sold for, but they listed it for like $750,000.
Yeah.
So what happened is they then listed their home at $800,000, which was the finished price of the bidding war.
Right.
So that's kind of where you're seeing that market exuberance effect is sellers are now having to come to terms with a slowdown of the appreciation.
Right.
So
what's happening with King County home sales?
King County. So the pending sales across King County rose 8.51%, and pending sales on the east side 8.86%. Despite that increase of inventory, we're still seeing an increase of homes going into contract, and that's just the sign of a healthy market.
Wow. Also, the absorption ratio rose to 1.75 in King County and 1.88 on the east side. A balanced market is 4 to 5 months of inventory. Even though buyers have choice, good homes priced well sell quickly. We're going to talk to Tracy about that a little bit about how we help these homes sell quickly. Conversely, homes that are overpriced may stay on the market longer. One of the things you mentioned in your last one on that pricing scenario, I often tell my sellers you have a choice between pricing to move downward or pricing to move upward.
Right.
Almost everybody says, well, we'd rather price to move up. Great, then price the home competitively and expect bids on it.
Right, and I think there's a thing out there is if you remember back in 2010, selling a home, you had to be compelling.
Right.
When you came on the market, you had to outshine the competition. That really hasn't changed, but what changed is there was 7-8 people lined up to buy a home in Bellevue in a specific neighborhood. Well, still the most compelling homes, and by compelling I mean looking great, feeling great, no deferred maintenance, all of that kind of stuff. We're, as our listeners know, we do pre-inspections on our homes. We want to make sure that we approach a home with the ability to provide our clients, our sellers, with all the information they need to be compelling, to remove contingencies, to have the ability for buyers to show up and be excited about their home over all the other competition in the area.
Right.
So with this market, what's it mean for buyers?
Means for buyers is rates are great. It's a great time to buy. Mortgage rates have fallen by over a full percentage point since the fourth quarter of 2018, settling at a near historic low. The big news for buyers looking to get more for their money in the current housing market, however, is competition is coming.
Competition for
the best homes.
Yeah. So that is true, because I know that we had a home in Seattle we talked about last week that we had to be very competitive. And even though we're seeing all this inventory increase and it's the dog days of summer, buyers still need to be prepared to be in a situation to be competitive.
So don't be surprised if you have to compete for a good home. We're seeing some ability for move-up buyers to use contingencies. I just closed a contingency when everybody told me that'll never happen. We were able to help the buyer find their new home before they sold their existing home, thereby not having to worry about where they're going to end up.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to have that flexibility now as a buyer where you don't have to feel like you're going to be homeless, right? Because sometimes you got a chicken or the egg. Do you sell first? Do you buy first? Yeah.
So one of my things I'm proud of is I've never left a family on the curb.
That's good.
36 years so far, so good.
What about when you drop them off after showings?
No. I mean, having their home sold, not having the place to go.
Yeah.
I'm not going to start now either. But contingencies are something that we're seeing in this market, which is a good thing for buyers.
So how do you feel about this market?
I'm excited. I think, right now, Dan and I are just, really, I've used the term killing it. We're helping a lot of clients get homes they're very, very happy with.
Yeah.
So it's a fabulous market. I think we're going to end this year up one of our strongest ever.
Yeah.
And not all of our competitors are saying that. And partially moving to a more balanced market, it's harder to sell a home, a little more skill set and systems in place than a lot of our competitors have.
I think attitude has a lot to do with it. I think that honestly you can say, well, geez, the market really sure has changed. Well, of course it has.
It always does.
It always will. So awesome. Great conversation. Well, that concludes our Real Talk segment for today. But up next, we're going to be speaking with our lender, with WA First Mortgage, Wes, our senior loan originator. So please join us right after this short commercial break.
We'll be right back.
Not sure if now is the right time to sell? Worried you missed the market? The Eastside Real Estate Team specializes in helping homeowners maximize their equity when selling. With our proven premier listing service, our clients have sold their homes for more money in less time than the competition. We know you have many choices when working with a real estate agent, but with the Eastside Real Estate Team, you get a team of highly qualified, experienced agents. From staging to deciding if your property is market ready for top dollar. If you're considering selling, call the Eastside Real Estate Team at 425-200-4093. Or check out our website at the eastsiderealestateteam.com, a subsidiary of Keller Williams Realty in Bellevue.
Did you know that on average, staged homes sell 70% faster than non-staged homes? At Simply Staged, they help you escalate your goal of selling your home fast. Whether you are looking for a refresh of your current home or trying to prepare for selling, Simply Staged has you covered. They won the Best of House 2019 award. Their work won in the customer service category, as their portfolio includes some of the most consistent reviews on House in 2018. At Simply Staged, they go above and beyond to ensure they listen and prepare your home to appeal to a broad audience. If you are thinking of preparing your home for sale or just want some fresh decorating ideas, contact Tracy at Simply Staged at 425-442-0339 and visit their website at simplystaged.design.
Create time for what matters most by locating your business in Issaquah. The 2005 Northwest Poplar office building is designed with that very purpose in mind. Rowley Properties is pleased to announce this new office building is under construction. Located at the gateway to Issaquah, just off I-90, exit 15 with I-90 visibility. It is designed to be iconic with its sustainable cross-laminated timber and illuminated glass staircase, promoting a healthy work environment. It's adjacent to Tibbetts Creek Greenway. The setting and design inspires productivity and innovation, a place to let your nature begin. Conveniently located near all the amenities today's workforce desires, like dog daycare, childcare, multiple fitness options, meeting rooms, hotels, restaurants, a brewery, recreation, and more. Tenants will have an incredible forested mountain backdrop and access to parks and hiking trails out the back door. It's within walking distance to the Issaquah Transit Center. The approximately 70,000 square foot four-story building will be owned and managed by Rowley Properties Incorporated.
Be sure to support the sponsors of your favorite shows on Alternative Talk 1150.
Welcome back to the show. You're listening to Real Talk with Brian and Dan.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Dan. It's now time for our Mortgage Moment segment. During the segment, we get a quick update on the lending side of our home buying process. Today, we're talking with Wes Graham with Washington First Mortgage. Wes is a senior loan originator, has been serving borrowers at a very high level for 21 years now. Welcome to the show, Wes.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Hey, we're good.
Great.
So tell us about rates. What's happening?
Well, rates continue to trend down, which is fantastic for all of us. You know, while we have great equity positions in our homes right now, obviously we're seeing a lot of flow as far as refinancing is concerned. It has backed up a majority of the lending banks that are out there right now.
Yeah.
I'd say we're in anywhere from a 20 to a 40-day closing type scenario for any refinance that is happening. Also, rates are still under 4% when it comes to a 30-year fixed mortgage. I would say rates are ranging anywhere from 3.625 to 3.875, depending on where your current credit scores are and the equity in your home.
How low can it go?
You know, that's such a great question, right?
Right.
If I knew that, I'd be a millionaire. Of course. And I will say this, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the great prognosticators that they are, have come out and basically said that we're going to see a really bullish interest rate market for over the next 12 months here. And that's going to do wonders for all of us that are looking to lower our monthly payments or really for just the affordability of our homes, guys. Like, you know, like if you look at a regular $500,000 mortgage, you know, if you came to me 6 months ago, your payment would literally be $380 higher than it currently is now. So we're seeing a ton of affordability, which is keeping a lot of people in the market.
That's good news for first-time home buyers, right? Because it is really a trickle down. Yeah.
You know, and I'm glad you talked about first-time home buyers, because with first-time home buyers, you know, the misnomer out there is that you need 20% down, right?
Yep.
And, you know, our first-time home buyer programs range anywhere from 1% down to 3% down. And if you don't have that good a credit, you can actually go to 3.5% down with FHA, which basically, if your credit's not that good and you're really looking at holding off, you might actually want to have a loan officer look at your scenario and look at your credit, because again, FHA's minimum credit requirements are 580. And conventional lending requirements are 620.
Wow.
So FHA, even though it's required another 0.5% down to 3.5%, they really are looking to try to get mortgages done with the minimum 580 credit score.
Expanded scores. That's great. That's great.
So when I think about that, and you said something, Wes, that I think is very important, is just find out, right? I don't know what's keeping people from not finding out, but you just look and see if you qualify. Talk to a mortgage professional like Wes and just have them run your numbers. It's not going to kill you. It's great.
It's not going to kill you. And, you know, people think they miss a credit card payment 12 months ago. They think it's immediately brought them out of qualifying for a home. And that's not the case at all.
That's great.
Yeah.
Hey, Wes, thank you.
I did want to bring up one other point, guys. What I am seeing across the board right now is people with excellent credit
Yeah.
that have 20% down on their new home purchases or refinancing. What we are seeing is a new program called appraisal waiver.
Okay.
And what that means basically is you can basically get into a refinance or a purchase with no appraisal as long as the property qualifies for it. And I would say, I don't know, I'd call it 30% of the properties qualifying for that actual waiver right now.
And that saves them
And in
money,
fact,
right?
me and Brian have a couple transactions right now that are actually qualify for the waiver. So it makes it a lot easier on us, and it makes it a lot easier on our client because they do wind up saving $800 on an appraisal, and they also take care of the variable of finding something bad on that home. If there is something that will typically be looked at by an appraiser, if you have an appraisal waiver, no one's looking at that property. And so it really gets rid of a lot of variables when it comes to home inspection.
That's great.
Awesome.
Wes, how do our listeners reach you?
You can reach me directly. I am down in Kirkland on the waterfront, and my phone number directly is 425-268-0116. This is my 21st year in the industry, and I'd love to be able to talk to you. Just like Dan said, you don't know until you speak with a loan officer. So do not hesitate to reach out to the loan officer that you know and find out if you do, in fact, qualify.
Awesome.
That's great. Hey, thank you, Wes. We appreciate that. After the break, we'll be talking with Tracy Lynch with Simply Stage Design, who will discuss utilizing staging to make your home appeal to a large audience. We'll be right back.
Did you know when you pay rent, you're actually paying someone else's mortgage? Are you tired of missing out on owning your own home? Fact: homeowners on average have 40 times the financial net worth of renters. The Eastside Real Estate Team has been helping many first-time home buyers find and buy their first home. They specialize in customer service and put you first. They listen first to what you're looking for, and then they take the time to make sure their clients understand every aspect of the home buying process. If owning a home has been your dream, the Eastside Real Estate Team can help you. For a free, no-hassle consultation, call 425-200-4093 or find them online at the eastsiderealestateteam.com, a subsidiary of Keller Williams Realty in Bellevue.
Are you ready to select a residential contractor for your remodel project or custom construction? Have you been presented with a contract to review and sign? Well, before you go any further and before you sign anything, contact Douglas Schwed at Access Law NW for an expert contract review and a contractor due diligence investigation. We highly recommend that before you sign any major home improvement, remodel, or custom construction contract, that you consult with a qualified real estate contract attorney. Mr. Schwed has developed a proprietary 10-step builder due diligence investigation algorithm, which fully and completely documents any contractor's operating and legal compliance history, including litigation checks, including civil and criminal background, bankruptcy filings, licensing compliance, insurance and bonding compliance, and other relevant business details. From that investigation, a written report is provided highlighting all areas of concern so the client can make a fully informed, unemotional business decision before the sign and before performance problems and disputes arise. Go to accesslawnw.com to contact us or to get more information. That's accesslawnw.com.
Are your dog's behaviors not quite what you'd like them to be? You're not alone. DogSmart is committed to helping families just like yours learn ways to communicate with your dog so that both ends of the leash are working as one. They've helped countless families on Seattle's East Side and beyond. Don't waste another moment. Reach out today. To learn more about how DogSmart can help or to schedule a time to meet, visit their website at dogsmartseattle.com or call 1-833-DOGSMART today.
No other station delivers this much variety. Alternative Talk 1150.